I'm trying to be diplomatic. Welcome back to work. But if I want to put pressure on you, or a few of you, welcome back to hell. You guys should not fear hell, because before you go to heaven, you will have been through many hells. So you should make peace with hell. The reason why I'm not going to hell is because I've been through it already. I've served the hell term of life. Hell is the place where the devil thinks is clever and his boss can pull the strings and make life horrible for anybody. Glory be to God. Glory be to God. Is Tembile here? Where is he? Just stand up, my child, if you are around. You know Tembile. You see here? Ah. Wow. Child, thank you. Thank you. I just want to thank you. The strength of faith is measured by the problems you survived, not by how many problems you avoided or ran away from. In this world, you graduate because of the number of tests, exams you wrote and passed. Well done, my child. The journey is still long, but for now, I'm proud of you. Thank you. Did Michelle make it? Michelle? Is Michelle here? I don't know. You don't know him, I know him. Michelle, are you around? Not yet. So one young man I wanted to thank. The measure of faith emanates from the manner, the quantity, the quality of challenges, personal challenges that you encountered and overcame. Today I said something offensive to young people in the church where I was. Maybe I can offend you also, because at least it's intentional. It's not like by mistake where you can say, did that guy hear what he said? That very often, and I don't know why you like this thing, guys. I don't know. I'm not saying you are wrong. Do it if it's good for you, it helps you. But why do you enjoy putting a false image of yourself on social media? I'm asking a question I have no answer, okay? So I'm not speaking as a prophet now, because even a prophet I should know. I'm not prophesying. I'm just asking, why does it appear very pleasurable to give something you know is not true about you? And I'm not saying this because I know you, therefore I'm not saying that. There's nobody in this forum who is living that fake kind of thing. The one who's my friend on Facebook, I don't remember any. I would have called you to order. How would you call? I'll call you to order and say, I don't know that about you. So if I don't know that about you, maybe it's not true. The essence of the kingdom of God. Let's go. That's Romans 14:17. For the kingdom of God is not about eating and drinking, but righteousness and peace and joy in the Holy Spirit. And verse 18 shows the reward. For he who serves God in these things is acceptable to God. I like the other part. Acceptable to God and approved by men. Acceptable to God and approved by men. So this suggests to me that it matters what people see on you. And then human approval is important. As long as it's a confirmation of what is in the inside. Human approval is important, which means the workings of faith develops in you what people desire to accomplish without faith. So when they see those attributes on you, they begin to approve you as a person. Please do not wear enemy glasses when you deal with people who do not accept Christ. Don't look at them as enemies, even if they call themselves enemies. But there must be something in you which is so irresistible that even a Satanist will come to you and congratulate you and say, look, I don't care about your God, Lord Jesus. I worship the devil, but I think you are genuine. You are real. And what you have is real. Yes. Even if opposition will come and say to you, look, I don't believe in God or care about God, but you are one person that symbolizes that genuineness exists in this world and true power exists. Now, we need to know the difference between what must be commanded and what must be influenced. Because those are the two key elements of power. Power moves things. There's force in power, but there's also influence. So many believers don't know the difference between who we have power to command. Unfortunately, we have no power to command other people. We have no right to command people. Okay? If you command, they'll bet jet and drive you crazy. With people, we use influence. With the devil, we use power. With people, we use influence. In other words, real change in life is always assisted. When people get the courage to make necessary changes about themselves, it's because they found someone, directly or indirectly, who gives them the courage to say it's okay to make the change. You can take the steps. So real change is assisted. And the greatest release of the power in you is through influence. Influence is indirect command. In other words, you don't tell people to change, but you live in such a way that your presence effects change and people begin to desire to follow you. When they are with you, they see the confidence to make necessary personal changes. Now, in the verse that we just read here, I picked up three things, therefore, to share with you before we receive Holy Communion. The first thing let's start with the military side of things. The kingdom of God is an intrusion. Okay, it is an intrusion. It is a disturbance, a distraction. Because the kingdom of God arrives 2,000 years, 4,000 years after Adam. 2,000 years. Before Christ came, the kingdom of God was not known on earth. It was a domain existing on its own somewhere else. Which means on the earth there were two kingdoms, and they are still there, and they are still operating. The kingdom of man and the kingdom of the devil. Now, the kingdom of man, human beings, we are rulers by creation, not by faith. We are rulers by creation. That's why people hate to be ruled. They hate to be ruled. There's something in you which says, another human being must not rule over me. But unfortunately, because of sin, we be the ruler. And some rulers must be very tough so that they can protect the weaker from the stronger ones. So the kingdom of men is the earth. Genesis 1 verse 26. in Psalm chapter 6, Psalm chapter 8, verse 4. Where after God made the earth, he made a king, he made a human being to be on earth. So people ruling, you've been here, you are actually studying your domain. So don't think that going to the moon is a big thing. You are simply exploring the frontiers of your territory. You look up, you see some shiny things up there. What's there? What's there? Because I'm the boss here. Who stays there? Then you go to the moon, you check, oh, nobody can live here. All right, we know what's on there. Maybe one day you go to the sun. Yeah, but I'm telling you, one day one of the human beings will do so. Okay? We'll go, want to check what is on the sun. It's normal. So when scientists go deep into the oceans and try to check what is there, there's nothing abnormal about that. It is the boss trying to check the frontiers of my domain. So when you go into the forest, cut a few trees and get a few leaves and get a few roots and mix them together, you check into the human body, find that okay, it's true, you are made out of the soil. So which means the elements that make up the human body exist in the grass, in the roots, in the leaves and the fruits, and in nature. So then what you call medicine, scientific medicine, is a replacement of what you lost by wear and tear or something else. Okay? They go and check there and find out, okay. And then they replace what got lost or what got missing or what got stolen in your system. So all the elements that make up the natural world, actually, they form the physical body. Okay, so that's why science is about discovery, not creation of cures, but discovery. Which this thing has been there for a very long time. I do not know how people discovered electricity, when people discovered electricity. But did you know that it can't increase or decrease? It can't. Electricity remains the same all the time. But for about 4,000 or 5,000 years, people were in darkness, using candles, using oil and petrol and so forth. While current was there, they were just going against it ignorantly, not knowing that current is there. Until somebody discovered it, discovered penicillin, discovered this, discovered cure for AIDS, discovered cure for this. You discover this thing because it has been there all the time. So guys, you are here to try to find out the borders of the human territory. Because the earth is a kingdom of man. But human kingdom was disrupted by sin through the devil. So therefore people fell back and they started to follow somebody else they never knew before. And so the devil disrupts everything. That's why the best of human beings in this world, without the help of God, the way they crash, the way they end, it's so painful. You keep asking yourself. And the Bible mentions one problem. It says sin. That rebellion against God is really limiting the growth of the things of God. Do you have a holy member? There at the back. We have the holiest member here. We welcome the holy ones. Guys, your holiness can't match that one. It doesn't matter how much you pray in tongues. We have the holiest member here. Please, you must feel good when the holiest member says amen in her own way. You must just feel good. Don't be distracted. Okay. So the earth is a kingdom of men. So which means Satan is actually an intruder here. When Christ comes, Luke 16:16, he explains something important, that from now onward, after John the Baptist, the kingdom of God moves on the wings of the gospel. And everybody now try to find their way into it. So there are three kingdoms here on earth. Kingdom of man, which is where you are right now. You are princes and princesses of the kingdom of man. All of you, like it or not. You are the next generation of the rulers of earth. Unless Christ returns. So you are a prince in the making. You are a princess in the making, according to God. But unfortunately, you cannot rule because of what we call sin. It must be removed. So, the authority of the child of God begins here. When you go back to God and say, Lord, that thing which hinders me from reaching the glory of God, remove it from me. There is a limiter. So when you come to Christ, you are accepting the removal of the limitation, the thing that makes you not to reach where God wants you to reach in this short space of time in the body. Then you say you are born again. I love the Lord Jesus. When we were speaking to Professor, Dr. Pastor, Comrade Nicodemus, because he was everything. You see, Nicodemus was very honest as a pastor. He could see that this Jesus is not in our kingdom. We are human, we are under the weather, under everything, under the laws, under all the poverties. But this Jesus seems to be from another kingdom. He asked him at night and said, yeah, that's a secret. We are aware that you come from God, not from earth. Because we come from varsities, but we cannot do and say the things that you do and say. So what's your secret? And Christ was very generous. You didn't point to an institution or to a textbook. You refer him to any place, holy place, a shrine, somewhere. He referred him to the secret of entering the kingdom and moving in the power of the kingdom. He said, it's about a birth. Through your mother and your father, you were born from the earth, from below. You think like your mother, talk like your father, and behave like your uncle. So, and all that. And you were born in jail. So, but if you are born like me, then you do what I can do. You must be born again. In some of the Bibles, it will show you the word again there means from above. Okay? Born from above. So therefore, every born again child of God, what distinguishes you from the children of the kingdom of the world and of the kingdom of the devil is birth. That's what distinguishes you. You are born into the kingdom of God and born from above. So which means the sources of your knowledge and strength are not somewhere on earth or under the earth. They come from above. That's why we say it's the kingdom of God. But let me repeat this. You become an intruder in the affairs of men and devils. Not by choice, by birth. You become an intruder in the affairs of men and devils. You become an intruder, a nuisance in the affairs of men and devils. How you succeed, how you survive, how you manage to move forward in spite of things that are distracting people. You remain a walking miracle. People keep asking, but how do you manage to remain in one piece? The secret is not the fasting you had last week, because actually fasting can be deceptive if you don't know why you are fasting. Yes. I know people who fast because of sin. They think, and those who are psychologists here, you understand the whole thing, that some food will increase your tendency to joy. There are some foods when you eat, you really get fired up. So there are people who try to fast because they are trying to suppress the joy, but they forget. After fasting 7 days and you can't even miss anybody, or the opposite or whatever seat, you don't miss anybody. Then you stop fasting, you start eating again, the thing comes again. You wonder, how can you fasting? I will help Jola. No, Johnny is not in the body. You must fast the heart, not the speed. This thing is no problem. Hands don't steal. People, hands don't steal. No, it's the heart. So the real fasting must be where? In the inside. Where you drag yourself away from things and places and people that awakens the hunger. So you can fast from food, only suspend it for a little while, because when you are too hungry, you cannot commit some sins. Some sins require energy. You know, they require energy. I'm not being judgmental, I'm being fatherly, right? I'm just making you aware that when you eat some things, they remind you of some things. Or they awaken some things in you that you do not want to be awakened. And then from there you wake up and say, Asa. Alright. So therefore, fasting is not for the body, it's for the flesh. And the body is not the flesh. Okay? The body is not the flesh. Flesh is human nature. Body is blood and bones. So the two are not the same. Even in your Bible, the word for body, the Greek is sarx, not sex. Sarx. And the body for flesh, the word for flesh is something else. No, we have soma, which you do in biology, right? Soma. Anything soma we knows about human body. Somatology, soma. Alright? And the flesh. So now, fasting must affect the flesh, not necessarily the body. You can fast for 30 days and still come back and remain corrupt. Because the problem is not in your hands stealing, it's in the wickedness of the heart. Alright. So now, when you are born of God, you become an intrusion. And the secret of how you do things, why you gain so much power, comes from the birth. Don't start mentioning things that don't exist and lie to people and say, how do you get so much power? How do you get so much influence? When you speak, you become audible. When you do things, things are movable. What's your secret? If you mention fasting, you are lying to people. Especially if he is fasting from food, but he's fasting from other things, then you might be telling the truth. Okay? So the problem is the flesh, not the body. The problem is the flesh, not the body. Deal with the flesh and have mercy on the body. Because we only have one body. You starve yourself, eat once a week, every for the whole year, eat once a week, you look like a walking skeleton. And still you can't sleep at night. The sinner is eating, the sinner is talking to you. Why are you sleeping alone? You could be somewhere. Their heart. Okay, now there are 3 signs of a child of the kingdom. 3 signs I want to bring to your attention. Now that you are born into the kingdom of God, Christ says to Nicodemus, he mentions 2 things. He says, unless you are born again, verse 5, you will not see the kingdom of God. And secondly, unless you are born again, you will not enter. So there are 2 things about the kingdom. The seeing of the kingdom and the entry into the kingdom. Now, entry means participation. Seeing is understanding. Alright. If you're born from above, you will not understand the ways of the kingdom. Hence, we read the other time in Matthew 13, verse 11, when Christ says to the few people who are now born from above because they believed him, he said, to you it has been given to understand the mysteries of the kingdom of God, but to everybody else it has not been given. Then you can see the kingdom because you are born. And secondly, entering means participating and operating in the kingdom. Now you participate, the signs of the kingdom, they come out. When you speak, when you do things, the signs of the kingdom come out. So what are the 3 signs that you are in the kingdom? 3 signs. Victory over sin, especially yours. There are people who are experts in sniffing some people's sins. And that is not kingdom life. You know, you're a sniffer of sins. No. And you even think it is prophecy when you are sniffing out the text. Let me tell you, God does not use people to clean his church. He does it himself. He does it himself. He does it himself. Even if God can just allow me, like the other time he embarrassed me by allowing me, I don't want that thing again unless he forces me. He allows me to sniff all your sins. And I make the altar call, all of you come forward. Do you think after the altar call, all of you are clean? Oh, I'm telling you, some of you will say, Jen, why did I go forward? You will go to start the same thing. So I cannot purify you. But he will purify you by the Holy Spirit and by his word. And this purification is individualized. Don't think that the person next to you is hearing what you are hearing. Forget. Don't lie to yourself. No one is hearing what you are hearing. As I'm talking to you now. So therefore, a sign of someone born from above is victory over sin, especially personal sin. Preaching against sin does not mean you are cleaner. Don't think like that. You know, you mention all the sins, the ones you sing and the ones you, and then people might think this one must be holy. Wait. In fact, there are people who, I've seen people who crucify their own sins. They fight their own sins in their preaching. And you might think it's talking about, it's can't you against that against all. That's what I was doing this morning. So, victory over personal sin. It says it's a mark that you are born into the new kingdom. Over personal sin. And number 2, victory over Satan. Again, I'm talking about a personal victory. I'm not talking about general victory where you go and cast demons out of others. No. Personal victory over the devil. It's a mark that you are born from above. I'm saying personal victory over the devil. Personal victory. I'm so happy that at least this year, maybe one from campus called me about the demon harassing them. Only one. So it's a good sign that people are growing. If you are born of God, the devil is no longer your pastor's problem. It's your problem. Demonstrate the power of the kingdom. Tell that devil to go. You know, somebody called me from somewhere. What is it? Let me say, it's on the roof. What is moving up and down? We can't see this. Even my children are now stuck in one house. It's going to kill us. I said, good. Am I your pastor? I said, yes. Have you ever seen me, how I deal with a demon? They said, yes. I said, what do I do? They said, you just command in the name of Jesus, go. I said, my children, even my father, imitate me. Say what I said to the demon when you were there. Say that to that thing. You see what happens. I fully see. What? I said, yes. Just say, devil, just do freestyle prayer. Don't use this one that's programmed. Do freestyle prayer. Yeah. Sometimes you think people prayers that are very funny and binding. People are bound by some prayers, you know. Stand up and then hold the Bible in the right hand and then start moving around, go to the east and the west, and then pray in tongues first. Do freestyle. Devil, this is my house. I think you are on the wrong house. This is my room, the room of my house. I command you, leave my house alone in Jesus' name. That's it. When the man thought I was going to pray and say, I said, do it. You are born of God. But the Bible says, whatever is born of God overcomes whatever. I like the word whatever. Because it is not talking about whoever. But some Bibles can say whoever, because the translator was very scared. Whatever. Not he for her, but even the it. If your vision is born of God, if your business is born of God, if your family is born of God, if your ministry is born of God, if your resolutions are born of God, they will still beat the world. But greater is the one that is in you than the one in the world. Now, personal victory over the devil is a mark that you are in the kingdom. I'm not talking about delivering others. Wait, that one is second year curriculum. Second year. I'm talking about you dealing with the devil. The devil must not become your nemesis, your enemy. I mean, how many of you are scared of sleeping in your own room? All right, let me just scare you a little bit into a coward so I can increase your fear. When last did Vest build a rest from the scratch? Which year was it? Maybe Junction or something? Which one is that? Okay. Oh, okay. All right, okay. Now let me just give you the best news. The room that you occupy. There was a year when the Sangoma stayed there and he left some things. And then a Satanist also stayed there and left some things. And every kind of thing, now you are inheriting the space you are still occupied by the enemy. And some of the people who occupied the place actually left some of the things there, because before they can get there to sleep, they put marks there, they put everything there, and they invoke the demons, they put something, and so forth, and then they fail, or they pass and they go, and then you come there and say, I've got residents as well, I've got accommodation first. You don't even know who has been there before you call them there. And that's why some rooms are spooky. It may not be because of you. It could be because of the previous owner. Now, what must we do? If you do not understand the power of new birth, you are going to hire a pastor. The same way people hire a sangoma. You can bring some holy water, the spread on the corners, corner here, corner there, corner there, corner there. Now, they are confusing the things you should be doing by birth. Now you do it by water and oil. Well, they are frustrating your faith. They are limiting your faith. A child born from above, victory over Satan. And thirdly, victory over the world. Now, what is the world? Is Gundo here? Gundo. Are you here, Gundo? Oh, she's not here. I want to make an example about her, because the example is what you never talk about. I spoke to another child. Somehow by grace or by fault or by default, she read a book that shatters, that casts Christian faith into pieces.